Okay. Alright, so if anyone did happen to do the frame 1 joining stream, I will... Did I ever update my information? There we go. One more time. I think I totally forgot to press update. Oh my god, I'm actually so dumb. I completely forgot to... Come on. There. Let me check stream real quick, because I totally blanked out on that. Had my stream info from the other night. Oh boy, that's awesome. I'm really good at this, guys, I swear. But yeah, I don't know if anyone popped in frame 1. I'm currently waiting for a couple replays to come in. Gonna put them in my replay folder, and then we are good to go. No, don't open Audacity. I don't want Audacity right now. Okay. That is the first set, and that is the second set. So once I get these in, we will be jumping right into it. So as you can see, our first set's going to be Slam versus CMAvelis. So we got some heavyweight action going on right now. Definitely expecting to see both of these characters living to a pretty long time. These could be some long games. So brace yourself for that. We've seen plenty of gaming tonight. One of the things I'm interested to see is Krag normally gets a lot of his... Because like, I haven't really played this matchup that much or seen it that much. So I'm actually kind of wondering how much Slam's going to be getting off of edgeguarding, because normally that feels like it's Krag's like strong point. Let me just check one thing in some feature sets real quick. Oh. I think... Did CM... One second, I have to check something before we start. I apologize. Alright. Alright, so I'm just gonna jump right into it, and I'll fix the messed up set later. Because... yeah. I don't know, just probably... Well, actually... Should I... Yeah, I guess I might as well just start now. So Slam versus CM, yeah. I already talked a little bit about what we're going to be seeing here. So... Alright, and I can switch YouTube back. So, starting off, we're going to be on Merchant Port. I think this probably makes the most sense for this, starter. And it kind of gives both players the space to make one, and ooh, Slam almost getting a little bit of a slam dunk, but of course, so you imagine to live off of the side. Or off of the, pillar, rather. Kind of an unfortunate situation, but what can you do? And it's something I think that's interesting is I'm actually not so sure how Krag's edgeguarding specifically is going to interact with Edelis's. Because usually the strengths of Krag's recovery are that he can kind of hold center stage while chucking spikes and rocks at you. And you just have to like accept the fact that he can do that. But with Edelis, you can normally go kind of far over the ledge. catching him with the F-Strong. Yeah, because like you can usually go over the edge and just kind of bypass projectiles entirely, right? The main thing that is scary for Esoteric is when you kind of go off and threaten him very directly, like Slam's trying to do right now. Probably would have gotten him there if he went for an up air instead. That's something that I like to go for against Esoteric, which is just like I'll do hold up air with Shovel Knight and try to catch him at the peak of the jump. I don't know, Shovel Knight has a lot of options for edge guarding Esoteric. I'm not so sure it's the same for Crag. But we're gonna see so far, Slam actually managing to lap CM in percent. So has a pretty hefty lead right now. I'm just spiking him with the rock. Kind of iffy parry right there. But see, I'm not really getting the strong attack punish there. And alright, with these characters, it's going to be living very long, like I said, especially with the ice armor up. But at the same time, like, Slam just barely lost the stock right there. But yeah, still has close to a full stock lead. And yeah, as we're seeing, right, it's kind of hard for Crag to like pester Esoteric off stage compared to most characters. You know, because someone like Shovel Knight or Ori can just go off and do it without thinking. Crag usually can do it without thinking, but I feel like in this matchup it's not as easy. Oh. I'm not catching the down B right there. Let's see. I definitely feel like CM's had a really hard time kind of approaching Slam. I will do that if he pops in, I guess. Third Knight 64. What was I gonna say? Oh god. Second time he's missed the punish on that. Like, it is obviously a read, so in theory you could kind of mess up your read every single time and, like, never get anything off of it. But it's gonna be, like, huge if he can get those. Because Esoteric probably doesn't really have that many tools to, like, kill Crag early, just with how long Crag can survive. Compared to pretty much everyone else in the cast. Yeah, no, CM was, like, pretty, like, an amateur bracket, like 2 weeks ago, and then got main and is now an inter. So he's kind of been a little all over the place, but already kind of showing he's a lot better than when he started out. Get another quick Christ Esoteric, oh boy. I swear, if CM becomes Solar Flare too, that would just be nutty. Obviously it's not quite as bad as Solar, otherwise he already would have won Ras, but, you know. Alright, yeah. So that was something I was hoping to see Slam go for. It's kind of trying to challenge with the Ferret Pie. It's, again, you know, Crag's mobility isn't that great, so it's going to be a little bit tricky for him to actually get out there to hit him. But I think that's going to be Slam's best bet for edge guarding Esoteric because of the projectile invulnerability. Not catching the air dodge. Yeah, I guess he does go a little late. It's more so just that it's long. And by extension, of course, yeah, it does run a little late. Ooh, good catch there with the up air. That's what I was saying, right? Up air and forward air are probably going to be the main tools Slam's looking for. And I hate to see it. Esoteric does not work. This character, man. Alright, Chuck and Rock. And, wow, that broke. I always underestimate the size of the down B landing hitbox. I've gotten hit by it so many times and we're just like, what? You hit me? Like, it's weird because the, like, aerial hitbox is like a lot smaller than you would think. And then, oh, getting him with the down B. Oh, that was a good catch. That was a really nice edge guard from Slam. That's actually a really clever use of the pillar, trying to sort of block off the corner, so CM has to go super high up. Nice stuff. One thing I will note from Slam is that we haven't seen a single icicle parry so far. So he's probably missing some fairly big damage, and once again going for the dunks. Makes sense. Down B dunks are really satisfying. I'm just bad, so I never really go for them. Dude, see, Esoteric down strong and 0, because it's not even really a multi-hit, it's just... And there we go. Alright. I guess something I probably neglected to point out earlier is, yeah, you can, I guess, chuck rocks at Esoteric when he's charging. I never really... Yeah. No, that checks out. That kind of checks out. So game 3, we're gonna be heading to, Blazing. Duh. Yeah, that's the name. I know the name of the stages, I swear. Alright, that is a fair point, right? It's like right here. Slam's probably not going to be on the top plat that much, and most icicles are going to be landing on the top plat, so he's kind of giving himself coverage like that with icicles. Like, in all fairness, Slam hasn't really been in position to parry icicles a lot of the time. But obviously, if you can get yourself in those positions and start parrying them, the damage you get is insane. Like, I feel like CM isn't too icicle happy either, which definitely helps him. Oh, wow. Oh, so Slam, I guess, tried to cancel it? Huh. Because I feel like he could have just held it and lived, right? Or did he, like, instinctively jump cancel? I don't know. Either way, that was an unfortunate way to lose that stock. I haven't really played the Esoteric Stove matchup that much, but honestly, I'd probably still be more comfortable going there. I'd probably still go to Abyss more often than not. Just because, like, Stove's gonna stay grounded anyway, so if the Esoteric isn't playing smart, you still have tons of opportunities to, like, parry him. But again, I don't know that matchup super well. I have Shovel Knight to kind of just destroy Esoteric, so... And by destroy Esoteric, I mean be bad at supposedly one of the easiest matchups in the game, but that's a story for another time. Right now, Slam managed to even things up a little bit. I do like this stage pick from CM quite a bit. I think Cry doesn't really gain too much of anything special from here, and that's something. Huh. And that's an uncomfortable... That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. There are just some ways that you don't want to see a set end, and I don't really think it gets any more you hate to see it than that right there. So that's going to be the end of that set. Slam taking it 3-0. But CM was putting up a pretty good fight for the beginning of that game, that last game. He just flubbed a little bit at the end. Okay, so real quick, I want to just see if I can get... There we go. I'm just going to check one quick thing before we move on to the next set. I'm sorry about this. No? Okay, I think that is right, even though... Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Sorry about that. So we're going to be good to blaze right through all of this. Up until Winners Finals. So we have the other side of Winners Semis right now, which is going to be Esoteric versus Rambo 5X. So Zetterburn versus Shovel Knight. What? Let me think. Because there's nothing that really... Red? Let me go back to where game 1 is. I guess there's not a purple one. Ah, there is. Alright. We'll have to stick with that. I really like Esoteric skin. Those of you who know me probably aren't too surprised to hear that, but yeah, I really like their skin. I think it's quite classy. But unfortunately, I only have like my own custom skins and custom skins from Invitational 1 players, so oh well. And yeah, Ethernet, I totally agree. Misinput Edalis is absolute pain. But game 1, we're going to be going to Tower of Heaven. I think this pick helps. I think this is an okay pick, but it definitely helps Esoteric a lot more than it helps Rainbow. With how much Zetterburn can abuse platforms, it's like so much harder than Shovel Knight. And the fact that Eso can get fire upstrongs on the platforms and just kill dummy early in a way that Shovel Knight really can't. And even without the platforms, fire upstrong going to be taking stocks in a ridiculous low percent if Rainbow doesn't really get caught in good positions. So far, and bad day on the F-Strong, but Esoteric might be able to live it. Pity flipping right into the F-Strong, and gonna lose first stock to that. Nothing too big off the dash attacks. Honestly, kind of surprised Esoteric didn't just go for Gatling right there. That's kind of like the standard for setters at this level. Is just Fireball and Gatling a bunch. And I mean, if it works, I guess. I don't necessarily know if there's anything Zetter can do on DI out after the dash attack, but yeah. Oh, catching him right there with the silly down strong. And so far, Rambo, something again that I've kind of noted about seeing his sets before, is I feel like he has a hard time kind of getting relics and just generally using, generally gem management in general, right? Something I actually think I should focus a bit more on is figuring out if there's reason for that. Ah, okay. So yeah, that was a fairly dominating game 1 from Esoteric. Taking it with by Pride Zetter. And something, again, that I think was a kind of an issue there for Rambo is, like, base Shovel Knight can contest with Zetter fairly well, but obviously if you can get your relics and your armor, you're just a much better character. That's kind of the whole point of how Escape plays. And he's generally getting gems really slowly. Something that I kind of think he could be using a little bit more is the gem magnet before he buys a relic. Because I haven't really seen him use it like almost at all. I know at least for me, I use it all the time. First stock, I'll usually give up a ton of advantage dates just for the sake of gearing up as quickly as possible. You don't necessarily have to take on a style like that that's as drastic as I do. Oh, double sweet spot fair. Not gonna kill, but that was a little bit frightening for a second. Thunderbird and sweet spot aerials are just like, oh, not anticipating the block right there and getting caught for it. So they're getting hit a lot by just kind of not respecting some of what Rainbow can do. Just dash attacking in. Let's see, I feel like... Actually, I might just... I could be wrong about that. Yeah, so I don't really mention it. I feel like Rainbow's... there we go. I was gonna say, I feel like he could be getting a little bit more aggressive with, like, back air and nair. Not so much dare, but yeah. That's a tough situation to be in as the Zetterburn. Shovel Knight is so good versus Zetter off stage. It's not. We can just destroy that character. Especially with Horn. I highly doubt, even if Rainbow does pick up a relic on the last stock, I don't really know if he'll go for Horn, but I love Horn. Oh, that was scary. I think Esoteric just saved him. I thought I saw him use his wall jump there, so that probably would have been death. Well, let's see if Rainbow can salvage this game. I wouldn't say he's behind per se, but you know, after being in a near-death situation like that. Probably gonna be a little bit shook. Up there, and no up strong. Oh, double roll. Ooh. That's a little concerning. Ooh. And yeah, going for block edge guards. That's kind of nice because, like, you can essentially scare Zetter into, like, having to get back on stage and then try to cover where he's going to go from there. And, like, I really like using Horn. Because Zetter up B doesn't have nearly enough range, and with all the charging time, you have a ton of time to, like, line yourself up for a Horn and get the dunk, which is what I like to do, but obviously that's a kind of silly strategy, and a lot of good Zetters probably won't make it that simple. I just get away with it more than I should. It's a fun strategy, though. It's one of my personal favorite things to do in the Zetter matchup. Probably actually my favorite thing about the Zetter matchup is just Horn dunks. But so far, Rimmer hasn't actually used relics at all. Definitely trying to get as much out of Vanilla Knight as he can. Oh, and not a bad start. Nice little 35-second stock right there. Pretty clean so far. And like, yeah, Rainbow can kind of string together those things like React, Esoteric, CI. It can be tough, right? Like, one of the main things about this matchup is that SK is going to live a little longer than most as a heavy. And if SK can get Zetter off stage, that's kind of death. So SK can definitely, like, outlast Esoteric. One thing is, because Shovel Knight doesn't really have the same, like, giant hurtbox and, like, massive weight that a lot of the other heavies do. Because, like, he is still a heavy, just not as heavy as the others. It's weird. But, yeah. Because of that, right? Rainbow can really kind of outlast Esoteric without getting comboed significantly harder. Bridging is a really important trait to keep in mind. I would definitely say this matchup's in Shovel Knight's favor. Because, like, when he can get stuff going, he really gets it going. I'm sorry, I'm very tired apparently. I think like every stream. But we're just getting started. We're gonna have to see if we got any games that can make me back up and keep me looking alive. Man. Oh, I just realized too what I was saying about Rainbow kind of living long. It's really coming through. He's just got momentum now. He's at 209. But even, like, again, you know, living the 209 is Vanilla Knight, and then getting the mail. Definitely has, like, a much bigger lead than I realized. Alright, as they're catching him with the up strong, that's a huge deficit to come back from. And fishing out of disadvantage. Let's go. Fish out of disadvantage. Yes. Yes. That is the best Shovel Knight strategy. Like, I kind of do it. I do it a lot. No. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Eso burned their air dodge and just kind of got stuck sitting there while the rock dunked him. Damn. Rock edge guards are really fun. We're actually going to see a bit of a DSR movement right here. So, pretty sure won game 1 on this stage. But going back to it, if Rambo doesn't catch it, it's not really a big deal. But I always like to point it out. Ooh. I'm trying to get a little snazzy with the side B movement. We're gonna have to see. This is definitely a tough situation for Esoteric to be in. On their potentially last game of winner side, they've really got to pull through here and make sure this next game, possibly 2 games, will count. It's for all the marbles, as they say. Well, I guess not all of them, but a lot of the marbles. Oh, nice edge cancel there. Edge cancels are so cool. They sound like a super complicated attack. I just think they look very clean. And I think they're also fun to know. Weird time to anchor. I'm wondering if that was a misinput. It probably was, just because, like, I don't see why you would anchor there. Excuse me. That DI on down strong looked a little bit weird, but it actually probably was right. Like, Shovel Knight down strong, even I don't really understand how that move's knockback works. Like, I'm pretty sure it's a hell angle move. Like, I'm pretty sure it's akin to Esoteric F strong, where you're supposed to do no DI and then go into the corner. Because I don't actually think you can, like, anticipate where it's going to send you for any reason. It kind of just does whatever it feels like. Fishing out disadvantage again. Let's go. Those are the hex shots I like to see, and Rambo just getting the fares across the stage. Eso kind of a little scared on DIing out right there. And, man, Rambo's just running all over the place right now. Those are some really short momentum out wave dashes. I wonder if that was, like, intentional or just Rambo not getting a sharp enough angle, but yeah. Definitely could have gotten more distance off of those wave dashes, I feel like. Oh, staring at him. Alright, good tech. And it's getting hit by everything right now. Rambo pretty much literally throwing everything and the kitchen sink at him, so... kind of rough, because yeah, like, Esoteric has taken the spot. But 176, that's a big deficit. It's gonna take a lot to bring this... could have teched off that. But yeah, that's kind of hard to... it's kind of weird to react to, I should say. Not necessarily difficult, but it's weird. Like, you really have to anticipate it in advance. Well, with all that said, Rambo's going to be going on to Winners Finals, and Esoteric's going to be moving on to Losers Quarters. So, still got a chance to move on tonight. But it's going to be slightly more dangerous now. We are in the danger zone. Alright, but moving on. We're going to be going back to CMAvelis versus CK's very own Acarcion. So Arxie is a Sylph player. I feel like I haven't... is that true? For some reason I feel like I haven't seen as many Sylphs as I would expect in quite a while. But I'm probably just being weird and dumb and forgetting someone obvious. I guess Zone played a lot of Sylph a couple weeks ago, but I don't even remember when that was anymore. Okay. Everything's looking snazzy right now. Starting off with our first loser side match. Got some rivers in the desert. I like it. And yeah, I feel like this is probably the most standard starting pick for this matchup. It makes sense for both players why you'd want to go to this stage. Wide open space for both characters to kind of run around and set up their stage control. It's definitely a bit of a weird matchup, where Sylph's pretty defensively oriented, and Esoteric is pretty offensively oriented, and both rely a lot on controlling the ground. Just in very different ways, and for very different reasons. So it'll be interesting. One thing I will say about this matchup, even though I don't play it a ton, so I don't have a ton of first-hand knowledge, but sort of second-hand, Esoteric can live for an extremely long time versus Sylph. Because Sylph's kill power, aside from a few specific situations into Bear, or in, like, side B F strong, or side B F strong rather, Sylph doesn't really kill that early, and especially with the armor, it's not at all uncommon for Esoteric to be living to about 200 right there. Living to about 180, for Arxie could close the first stock out. But of course, Sylvanos, also a heavyweight, going to be able to tank stocks for quite a while. Just like with Crag. Definitely to a less degree, but still. Something to be wary of. And yeah, right now, Acarcion not giving CM too much room to breathe. Something I feel like CM has been sort of struggling with in this set so far is utilizing dash attack in general, and kind of being able to rush at Sylph. So like Sylph definitely has options to shut Esoteric down on the ground. But in general, if you can just run in at him and press buttons in his face, that's going to be scary for Sylvanas, and that's kind of where he struggles most. It's just those up-close boxing situations where he legitimately has like the worst boxing game out of any character except for maybe Clarin, maybe. But yeah, the character doesn't really have any options up close, so you really have to abuse that the best you can. And so far, I feel like CM hasn't really been doing that. Because yeah, like right there, right? Jumping at him with icicles. Acarcion could just space him out with down tilt. Oh, good catch of the Dacus. That was a very hard read on that jump, but it certainly worked out. Or at least it felt like it was. He might even think he could just catch him if he ran at him, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, like I feel like CM's getting a little bit more aggro right now, and it's carrying him, but he's already doing a lot better than he was before. A good chunk of the damage he got that game kind of came in at the end. So I want to see if he can carry that momentum and that aggressive, those more aggressive tendencies into the next game. So going once again to Blazing Hideout. Not a... This kind of makes this as a counter pick. It's an alright pick. I feel like there are probably better ones though. Right now, Acarcion actually kind of going on the aggressive himself. Ooh, almost caught him with the up air right there. I like the attempt. I wonder if he could have met him up super high with Bear instead. That's something I definitely like to see Acarcion try to go for, is catching him with Bear and pairing the flower. You can up air some weird stuff on Endless. Ooh, was that a miss input? Just... Huh. Either way, unfortunate for CM not being able to make it back right there. Ooh. So, like, that right there I think was a really... like, kind of sus play from CM. In general, right, Esoteric has some really scary edgeguarding. So you gotta be abusing it the best you can. Icicles out stage probably are a really potent tool in a lot of matchups. I feel like they're going to be a little bit less strong against Sylph because they're better for covering high recoveries. But still, in general, you want to be putting down that pressure and doing your best to make Sylph hurt off stage, like with most characters. Alternatively, you can try to cover like burrow options and such. I'm wondering if Danby would do that. That seems like a really high commitment and kind of whack option for it, but yeah. I feel like that was kind of a free edge, like a free edge opportunity for CM, and he totally blew it. And right now, more than a stock behind, still struggling to sort of get momentum right now. I think in general that's the problem, is that CM's not really going at Acarcion enough, and not really making him. Yeah, you gotta DI out on that. You gotta DI out on the B-Stash. So on DI out, right, Sylvanas can go into another B-Stash or an F-Strong, but only at really specific percents for the F-Strong. The thing is, though, if you go, like, off-stage, if you get sent off-stage, it's a lot harder for Sylvanas to follow up. So you have to be careful about that. And, alright, CM on his last shot to start making this set work out. I guess FD is a decent enough pick, and I think this is a great Soul stage, so I wouldn't really do it, but it's a good Esoteric stage too. And in all fairness, Acarcion hasn't really been parrying icicles at all. So if you want to try to abuse that, take advantage of the airspace, that would probably be really potent. And in general, again, it's important to make sure you're being aggro versus Sylph, and not giving him breathing room. Which is what he's kind of doing right now. He's definitely going... I see him going more at Sylph, and using a lot more like dash attack, and trying to side at him with jab and such. Which I think is a big improvement over the last couple games. And we got really a little bit greedy with that down special. And I think you can catch him with seed up strong, but Not quite. We'll trade on the down strongs, and surprisingly, CM's going to be the one getting killed for that. And there we go. See, right there, right? You got to make it difficult for Sylve in those situations. You got to be going at him. Because with no grass, Sylve legitimately just can't do anything in that situation. So putting on that pressure as best you can is super duper important. And Ice Go Parry. We got one, boys. Right, up tilt up air. And alright. Let's see. So it's actually a pretty even game right now. This counter pick definitely working out for Sam. Much closer game than the last two. Coming down to fair. Oh. F strong. So F strong kind of hurts. Oh, nice hell up strong. Just DIing all in, it looked like. I mean, like, Hal sends in, but, you know. Okay, good follow-up. And, oh, Sam getting caught in the vortex, and he's already almost getting lapped in percents right now. Acarcion, did you try to parry it? Just jump it. It's not really worth the parry. Like, the only time that I parry Idolist down B is sort of if I'm not thinking, and it's like I see the down B coming and I get scared and don't think I have the time to jump, so I'll like parry it. But generally, like, if you can anticipate it, you should just jump it and try to use that time to get at him. I guess for Sylve, it might be a little bit better to parry, but again, the reward is so small. Just jumping at someone as Sylve isn't really that great of an option for the most part, with how bad its airspeed is. But yeah, he's getting a little greedy on these down B parries. It could cost him the game. Might be no. See, I'm once again kind of getting caught on the fortunate DI trap right there. So something that I think, not for nothing, CM, you were DIing, you did like DI down and out and then tech out, which is totally understandable, but that's not how you escape that. You have to no tech and then parry, which is really stupid, I'll admit. It's pretty stupid that you have to do it, because like, I don't think there's anything else in this game that works like that. But, you know, just kind of one of those things you have to understand. But with all that said, we're going to be jumping over to the other side of Losers Quarters with Esoteric coming back and CK Corpsvette. So once again, we got a CK player coming through. A crew player, of course. Also has a different Zetter skin this time. This one's kind of like that, and the Rano is pinkish. Yeah, we'll go with that. That's close enough. That looks like game one. That is game one. I just have the people backwards. All right. Let's see what we got here. It's kind of one of those matchups that I feel is probably relatively common in CK, so I kind of would like to learn a bit more about it if possible, get a better feel for it. But I don't know. We'll have to see. There are a lot of matchups that I'd like to learn more about at the end of the day, so I'll have to be kind of smarter about deciding which ones to focus on. Alright, nice little Gatling right there, getting rid of the poison stacks. Just those 2 hits are all you're going to need. So this is Cora's, I think, like, day 9, day 10 Rano. Only second week on the character. Not even. So it's good to see him still making it into Inter. And still kind of going in when he can. I think he was having a bit of a tough time last week. But it was also like his second day on the character, so it's understandable enough. We're going to see what he can pull off tonight. Both players kind of just running in and jabbing, seeing if they can parry each other. As I mentioned, slip back on stage with the fireball mix up there. That's definitely a strong Zeta recovery mix up that I need to get better at. Oh boy. I'm sorry if my commentary is all over the place tonight. I don't know what is up. I think a lot of things are up. But yeah. Ooh. Interesting. I don't know if that dive kick was intentional or not. It looked a little bit weird, and Core coming in with the Dacus, making that 4 code tag count. Yeah, I mean, Core always uses that tag, but it's a lot more fitting now that he shares a main with Code. And in some ways kind of shares a playstyle. Ooh, nice little confirm right there. Let's see, there's probably a better way to go in there than burning your darts, but I guess it works well enough. Oh, Eso reading the air dodge right there and just coming in with the sliding up strong. Alright, game 1. Going to Esoteric, of course. But Core not down and out of this at all. That was just one game out of 2-5. That was a weird situation. I'm sorry if there's a bit of background noise right now. I don't know that much I can do about that. I don't know if there is, but it looks like my mic's picking up on it, so I'm just kind of taking note of that. Alright, Code. I mean, Core. Tags mixing me up a little bit. Oh, just barely living right there. Good DI on the up strong. Chris, you better be getting good DI on up strong. It's not that hard to DI. You can, like, see the charge coming like that. I honestly was expecting him to just, like, Dacus right there. I feel like that probably would have been the best option, is just Dacus to try to end his whole career. But, oh, well, the fair works too. Esoteric definitely could have DI'd that in, but I guess they just weren't expecting it. Of course, so the obvious statement after that is you have to be expecting those things. And just know they're coming so you can DI them. Because, yeah. Also, I wasn't actually paying attention, but I wonder if he had his air dodge there and might have been able to slip past Core entirely. And just try to sneak back on stage like that. Either way, things are looking pretty even right now. Barely getting him with the tongue. Not a big punish off of it, but yeah. Sometimes you're not gonna read their drift right. It happens. Oh, wow. Esoteric's really got these up strongs on lock right now. I'm actually wondering now why Core would choose to go to... I guess he's also getting a lot of kills off of up strong. So, like, both of them kind of want low ceilings. But I feel like Rano definitely gets more off of side blast zones than Zeta, right? Actually, maybe not. That's probably not true, to be fair. Because Rana's going to be getting most of his kills off of down strong, up strong, and I guess fair and bear, right? So, yeah. I guess the low ceilings, even for Core, do make a lot of sense. It's just scary, because both characters are going to be able to abuse those low ceilings. And, like, Zeta probably abuses them harder. Like, Zeta is going to be getting much earlier kills with those lower ceilings, but Rano probably has, like, rather loses more options if you take away the low ceiling. Which kind of makes this a weird matchup to do stage picks then. Alright, gonna be slipping in with the up strong, taking him on the plat, and evening the score up, 1-1. to Game 3. Once again, got a stage with not necessarily a low ceiling, but a functionally pretty low ceiling when you take platforms into account, Chapel Pond. Again, not too surprising. I'm kind of expecting to see low ceilings for the rest of the set at this point. If both players and both characters are going to be taking advantage of them. Yeah, Zetter up air can be really scary on this stage. Because if you get sharked on that top platform with the sweet spot, you just explode. And if you get caught with any up-strong confirms on that platform, I'm pretty sure that's probably where it kills earliest out of like everything. Maybe not Tower of Heaven, but yeah, I don't know. Chapel and tower ceilings are weird. I never fully understood how they work. Just because I knew they're like high ceilings, but that's because the ceiling gets measured from like the base platform and not the top platforms. So they functionally have kind of low ceilings. It's weird. Nice Dacus right there, calling out the hard DI out. We're definitely trying to keep things as even as he can right now. We're gonna see. Oh, not getting anything off of that Nair. That was definitely a big situation for Corey. Really needed to get big damage off of that. And so far, kind of struggling. I don't feel like he's too confident in his combo game at the moment. Which is definitely hurting, because he's not pressing advantage super hard. I feel like a lot of his wins are coming from, I guess, like, being able to occasionally beat Esoteric off stage. And, again, just up strong, right? Knowing how to use up strong really well. Which, as I'll always say, as a sort of disciple of code, makes sense he know the ways of the up strong, but yeah. Right now I feel like it's the main thing that Corpsvette has going on. Ooh, nice little platform movement. Rano's honestly one of the most fun characters in this game to just move around with. Like, there aren't that many options in and of themselves, but his wave dash is super just nice. Definitely one of the better feeling ones. That's kind of the main reason that I like playing Rano, and parry down strong. Like I said, that move, probably one of the main ways that Rano really gets kills from, and yeah, you can see it working out. And once again, Esoteric, DSR pick to Tower of Heaven. Definitely would seem like their favorite stage. I'm honestly kind of surprised they didn't decide to go to, well, that's not true actually. Spirit Tree might. Is that true? Would Spirit Tree be better for Rano than Zetterburn? No. I don't know. Probably not, but maybe that's why? Because I would think a Zetter would want to go to... Actually, I guess Core could be banning it. Because yeah, regularly going to tower doesn't seem like the best options, but it's definitely not a bad option for Zetter. It just seems like I feel like there would be better comfort picks, especially when you move into the counter picks. But you know, I guess if it works. Now, Esoteric is also one game away from getting knocked out, so we're gonna have to see if they can turn it up, or if Core is gonna keep bringing the heat. Ironic, being that he's not the one playing a fire character. Man, my voice is not feeling it tonight, guys. Not feeling it. I didn't hydrate enough today. I have failed. Alright, up strong, not high enough for something to kill. And was that hurtbox shifting on that? That would be weird. I thought up strong hits on plats, but maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. Ooh, good Dacus, but not gonna hit the stock yet. Yeah, Core really wants to dack us right now. Just trying to get in as best he can. Oh boy. Let me check. Alright. For some reason I'm worried that it's still the wrong title. And alright, parry down strong. Core a bit behind, but he could make this comeback. Anything's possible. But right now, Esoteric does have a pretty solid lead. We could definitely be seeing Game 5. I think this would be our first Game 5 of the night. Definitely nice to have a bracket where it's not just, and yeah, we are indeed going to Game 5. Yeah, I was gonna say, it's nice not having a bracket where everyone just, like, clean sweeps, because I've had some like that before, where it's just all 3-0s and 3-1s, and it's like, you almost feel bad. And here we have Core going to Tempest. This is a stage in the game. I know this is like Rana's best stage. Certainly a weird stage, but yeah. It's pretty good for Rana. The side flats are super helpful for recovery. You can like sling off them. I think overhanging plats in general are one of the most important things, are supposed to be one of the most important things for Rana stages. But I'll figure some more out about that later, because I normally ban Tempest and Tower in this matchup. Not Tower, Spirit Tree. And I guess I would normally ban Tempest, Tower, and Chapel, right? Yeah, that makes sense. And Tempest, Spirit Tree, and Chapel. Am I misspeaking again? I am very smart. I'm forgetting all the stage teams tonight. I'll just come through with the Dacus. Wait, yeah, okay, I did have to score. And first stock going to Core. But it's not too far off. Esoteric just needs one good up strong and it'll be an even game. A parry punish with that? Okay. Interesting option. Yeah, I'm not sure why you would parry punish with tongue. I feel like... Well, it just seems really risky with how slow tongue is. Because I usually use it more as like a call-out tool. To think like if my opponent's going to do something dumb and like, or just like run at me, then I'll press the tongue button, but otherwise not really. Oh, kind of small parry punishment Esoteric. I don't know, maybe I'm just a weird one. I feel like Setter's combo game is super weird. Which is funny for him being one of like the more basic characters, but yeah, the way his moves link together doesn't really make that much sense to me a lot of the time. I feel like I just don't use Nair enough. Which, in all fairness, we haven't seen Esoteric use a ton of Nair. I definitely think that's sort of like an amateur bracket thing in general, and it's definitely something we're seeing in this matchup, is neither player really seems to have like a super optimized punish game. And a lot of kills are just kind of coming from like raw, like random upstrongs. And well, actually that was a decent low string. But I feel like for them, as I try to say that, there's some decent punishes right there. In general, I feel like both players could definitely stand to get a little bit more consistent on their punish game. And get better at squeezing a little bit more damage off of their neutral wins. But it's actually been a really solid set so far. And parry into the down strong. Core just barely going to be squeezing that set out. 3-2. Okay. So, next up, I need a short break, so be going there. And we are going to be going into Winners Finals. So, Winners Finals, we have SlamDunksville versus Rambo 5X. Woo! But first, I have a handful of games to save, so hang tight. So that's Winners Finals. So yeah, we have Slam and Rambo in Winners right now. And then Core and Acarcion in Losers. Trying to see if they can squeeze their way back into Grand Finals. That's a set that's going to be kind of fun to watch, because I'm relatively good friends, especially with Acarcion and Core. Mostly just by virtue of being an admin in CK, but yeah. Definitely going to be rooting for both of them quite a bit. So I guess the commentator bias would cancel out. To be fair, I don't normally show too much commentator bias, I don't think. Which is definitely a good thing. But yeah. And I have 2 losers finals. Wow. Very eager to get me to see losers finals, it seems. And time zones. Tagging time zones, dude. Alright, everything seems to check out, so we are going to be going right back into things. So, SlamDunksville on Crag. Here, one sec, I'm gonna get a drink of water before we continue, because my throat is not feeling it right now. Once I put in Shovel Knights. And let me just make sure, alright, that is the right one. So, I need to side switch you. Hello, Core. I'll be right back. I'm going to go to drink very quick drink of water, and then we're going to be going on to Winners Finals. Alright, hydration. So, jumping right back into winner's side. This is definitely a weird-ass matchup. Both characters can edgeguard each other ridiculously hard, compared to most of the rest of the roster. So I feel like this is definitely a very edgeguard-centric matchup. Which, to be fair, I actually feel like Shovel Knight versus a lot of the heavyweights can be like that. It's mostly, I guess this is mostly just Crag and Endless, but yeah, I feel like both those matchups are super centered around like who's going to be getting the bigger edge guards. Because the thing is, Crag having the ability to just kind of throw rock shards and rocks at you, and like spikes at ledge and everything, that's super obnoxious to deal with, and it's something that it kind of makes Shovel Knight have to think about recovery more than most other characters. Whereas for Crag, Shovel Knight has a lot of active hitboxes that can really shut down Pillar. And Shovel Knight can kind of go ham off stage, so even if you like Pillar towards the ledge, like, you have fairly safe options to go down and challenge that. Right now, we're going to be having a pretty even game. Rambo managing to get the momentum out fairly early on, actually. I'm wondering if with Crag living a lot longer than basically anyone else, Rambo's going to be getting more hits in, which means more gems, which means a chance to actually buy relics. And it's something that I, you know, because I regularly see him play, it's something that I often kind of criticize about his play style, is that I don't think he really uses relics enough, or even at all in a lot of situations. In general, in the Crag matchup, I'd say you almost always, if not just flat out always, want to buy mobile gear. Having the ability to sort of pressure Crag from across the entire stage is extremely important. Because Shovel Knight has a hard time kind of fighting Crag mid-range, which is what gloves normally help with, but even with gloves, Crag can kind of just beat Shovel Knight out mid-range. And then Horn, to be honest, you don't really need that much edgeguarding help versus Crag, and the stuff that Horn does to help edgeguard isn't going to help that much versus Crag either. Most of what you need is probably going to come in the form of Dare in terms of edgeguarding Crag, which obviously is kind of Shovel Knight standard, but yeah, it's doubly true versus Crag. Like, something that I like doing is, if I think Crag's forced to pillar, I'll just hold Dare under him, and if he pillars, he dies, which is very fun. And we're going for a lot of blockage cards today, I feel like. And we saw it a lot versus... Who did he play for? Esoteric? Yeah. He did a lot versus Esoteric, and he's doing it a lot now as well. And alright, you can... To be honest, I actually think Horn is probably more useful than Gloves in this MU. That's probably very wrong, but that's what I think. I'm still kind of interested in how he's going to start trying to use it. Accidentally sending him back on stage. That's a bad feel. Ooh, okay. Alright. So, like, in all honesty, both these players still have a pretty even chance to win, I feel like. Obviously, Slam's pretty far behind and on last stock, but Crag can make it work. And honestly, he's just kind of chilling with the rock right now, not thinking too hard, just gonna throw a rock at you. And that'll be that. Oh, Horn spiking and sending up and right into the F strong. Game 1 going to Rambo. Alright, so in general, I feel like Slam did pretty well that game overall. We're going to be going to Aramata next. I think it's a decent pick overall for Slam. I think it's a decent pick, not an amazing one, but it'll work. Like, I know some SK say they like the platform layout for him, but I actually don't agree with that very much. I don't think the platform layout does very much for him, and obviously being able to get pineapple kind of sucks. Come to think of it, Crag probably doesn't really get pineappled, does he? Huh. Crag recovery is super weird. And yeah, not really sure why Slam went for F-stronging the rock shards right there, but... And we're getting the parry. And keeping the percents pretty even right now. Good punish on the anchor. I was definitely kind of sus anchor, but yeah. We're getting him with down strong. That move will kill. Alright, let's see if it's a little bit behind right now. I feel like the smaller blast zones probably help Crag a little bit more than SK. I'd actually say a good stage to pick in this matchup would probably be Fire Capital. So you have more stage to control. The platform layout on Cap isn't bad for Shovel Knight, but it's not amazing either. Mobile Gear is pretty good on the stage, but it's not... Like, there are definitely much better gear stages. Now, I'm not sure if Rambo is going to use gear at all in this set, but we'll see. You never know with Shovel Knight. This character has many, many tools up his sleeve, even though not all of them are all that good. And some of them are way too good. And that's just how the Scary Shovel Man be. Ooh, damn, back air enough strong. That is kind of slick. And Slam actually managed to get a few of the money bags, kind of making sure Rambo's gem count's going to be low. But with the money, the way he manages money, probably won't have much of a chance to pick up a relic this game. Especially if Slam can kind of just bring the hurt early on and take his stock and take the game pretty quickly. But we'll have to see. Alright, Sam's kind of just chilling right now. I like this, honestly. Just kind of understanding, like, I don't have to do anything. You have to approach me. I have the rock that I can throw at you at mid-range. And forcing Rambo to kind of think about how to get in. Rambo using fishing to approach I think is really funny, but not super practical. Again, like, I'll fish at a disadvantage, but that's only after I've been hit. It's not so much to, like... Actually, that's not really true. I will use fishing as a landing mix-up. Even in neutral. But, like... I don't know. I meme fishing. Please don't do that. Or at least do it sparingly, which in all fairness he is. I don't know. I think that's the thing. I think it's a very funny strategy. am hard pressed to say it's really practical because it's fishing and disadvantage. And alright, so I'm getting some tricky little jab combos going. And pressing all the strong attack buttons. Really wants to end his whole career right now. Let's see what we get here. Ooh, not getting him with the rock right there. I feel like Rambo... Like, something that's, I think, worth considering when Crag goes in that position, especially with Shovel Knight, like, you can sort of feasibly challenge it. You can't, like, reliably challenge it, but it's not exactly ideal, in my opinion, to just let him stand there by the pillar every single time. I like to try to feign approaches with there, and then, because a lot of the time what they'll do is parry, and then I'll use that, and then like I'll parry punish with something like, even just something as simple as jab, right? Because if you jab, then they're probably getting sent fairly low, and without their pillar. And at that point, you can just run at them with like fair or down air, or even just another, like a nair or something. And they're probably just dead at that point, because it's Crag without pillar. I also kind of am bummed that Rambo's not really interacting with Rock with Upstrong or D-Tilt very much, just because I think the Rock shenanigans are really funny. But I understand that they're not always practical. They sometimes are, but yeah. They're not like super pro strats, it's just kind of funny. I wonder if Slam was wanting to parry that, 'cause that's what my thought process immediately was, like parry it and just make sure Rambo has to respect it at ledge, but I don't know. And the fair gonna be taking Rambo's second stock. Overcommitting a little bit too much on the up air, but not that time. Gonna be taking it. That sky up air is so good. Like, it feels like his worst aerial. Actually, that's not true. I don't know. It's weird. Shonen aerials are just all really good. So. Because, like, SK's up air, it's, like, hard to land, but it kills so early if you know how to get that last hit. It's also just satisfying to do, like, up air, bear, up air. You get all of the hits. Right now, we got a pretty close game 3, actually. And is he up? That was a really weird side B option from Slam. And that time Rambo respecting it, just kind of dodging past it and punishing when he got the opening. Good patience there from Rambo, kind of knowing like, alright, if he presses this button, I know I can punish him. So, Frozen. Again, I think if you're going to pick Frozen, you should probably just pick Capital. And the main reason is because this stage, in my opinion, is really good for mobile gear. Whereas Fire Capital is not, it is good for gear, it's just not like amazing, whereas this stage is like, it's so good to use gear here. And a lot of Shovel Knights are going to want to use gear here. Because again, the kind of ability to play neutral from long range, like Crag can, and kind of like, I guess, almost use Crag's game against him is really important. Because Crag, I feel, definitely has a like solid matchup against vanilla Shovel Knight, right? I mean, most characters do, but there are a few that don't. Crag definitely is not one. But Momentum Mail and gear in particular can be really hard for Crag to deal with, and the edge guarding. That's really all that Shovel Knight has in this matchup, I feel like, but it's also just about all that he needs in this matchup. Because those three things can all be a huge pain for Crag to deal with. Alright, we're just going to take his time coming in with the dagger. Little damage, but relatively safe punish. I'd personally, at this point, now that you have Momentum Mail, I would try to start with punishing with Wave Dash down tilt a little bit, so you can start down tilt loops. But that's just me. I really think down tilt loops are cool and fun. So, I reckon people do them, but yeah, not exactly a necessary thing to learn. And so I'm getting parried. I'm sorry about that. Man, both players are managing to just barely hang on to life right there. Having some near-death experiences. The big blast zones of Frozen with some player nerves are definitely helping out. Being both players in the game for now. Oh, dang. Getting caught with the upstrong right there. So I'm going to be taking the first stock. Actually, oh, never mind. I completely missed something. When did Slam lose his first stock? For some reason, I still thought that was his first. Huh. So yeah, Rainbow's actually got a fairly big lead right now. And, Horn on Frozen, I don't know about that. You can make it work. Because, admittedly, like, the edge to Blaststone size isn't that big. So it's doable. That helps a lot for Horn, because you can try to, like, Nair or Fair into Horn. Especially Nair. It might sound silly, but Nair Horn is a thing that you can do. And it's really fun. It's just, I don't know. Mobile Gear does such a good job of covering the platforms and restricting, particularly movement, but even just options in general, because, like, Crag is not really going to be relying on movement like most other characters. So in general, I think that's, almost always what I'll buy on Frozen. In some matchups, I'll just kind of bot out, and I mean, I'm trying to full stop avoid buying gloves nowadays, but yeah. I'm gonna think gloves are bad just because they're, oh, all the dares, but not enough to kill Slam. I mean, honestly, could have just held out, I feel like, and just gone for more dares, and like one more and it would have killed, but I can understand trying to play it safe. Although, I don't know, he does have a stock up. It probably wouldn't have been the end of the world, but either way, Rambo's gonna be taking that game. And taking winners finals. So going into grands with the added bonus of course having an extra game or an extra set rather that you can lose. Oh, with all of that said, we are going to be jumping into Yeah, I mean, SK in general is pretty infuriating to play against, I get the feel. Alright, though. Next up, going into losers semis, we're going to be having a bit of a CK team kill. And actually, we're going to be having 2 CK team kills coming up, because Slam's in losers finals, also in CK. That's right, we have Acarcion and Corpsvette. You are blue. You are pink. You are Rano. Part of my stupid monkey brain still thinks that Core is a maple. So I'm just like autopiloting and trying to give him the maple on the overlay. And yeah, you don't battle wave in neutral. I know you know this. Oh, all the Ferris. Core just pressing the forward aerial button, and Acarcion kind of holding in a little bit. Definitely something you have to be careful of with Sylvanas. It just, I mean, it's obviously something you have to be careful with every character, but especially as a heavy, you can't really let yourself be holding in, because you will just take 100% easy. I feel like Acarcion CC'd that and then didn't punish. So, like, I haven't played this matchup too much. But, something that I kind of felt, or, like, would assume, is that, like, in the Absent matchup, where you kind of want to, like, CC Cloud or F-Tilt, and then come in with, like, down tilt, you could probably do the same thing versus Needles, where you crouch cancel them, and then try to, like, quickly wave dash F-Tilt, I mean, wave dash down tilt. Or even just down tilt if you're at the right distance. But, yeah. Alright, so far I got a fairly even game. Acarcion has a bit of a percent lead, especially with being a heavyweight. That extra percent will matter a little bit more, but Core one good combo from Core definitely bring things back into his favor. Oh. Interesting how... Oh, wow. That's a weird forward strong. So forward strong sucks, dude. Hate that move so much. Right, that was something that, what's I'm saying in chat right now is something I noticed earlier in your set versus Esoteric, is that I feel like, Core, your punish game isn't really up to snuff yet. Where you'll have your occasional moments where you'll get, like, you know, good down to up strong's and stuff. But generally speaking, I feel like your combo game and your punish game in general could use a bit of work, and that's probably the thing at emphasis. Well, those two things, right, recovery and punish game, are probably the most important things to start on any character. And yeah, right now, both of them, and especially punish game, I think could definitely use some work. But of course, on a parry, it's not super hard for Rano to figure out what to do. You just kind of hit him with the big scary down strong. And you destroy them off the top. Alright. Acarcion trying to get some jump started right now, but Core playing pretty safe right here, trying to make sure he doesn't get caught in too many bad positions. Obviously he's in a risky situation right now, so... just barely missing the tongue sling. And yeah, okay, Acarcion's gonna be getting that punish. And game 1, gonna be going to our grass dog. Game 2. This seems like an interesting pick. So like, whenever I critique stage picks, there's always the massive asterisk of I don't know what your opponent banned. I don't think this is awful, but like, because I get Rana likes the stage. Personally though, I think it'd be much better to take Sylvanas to, if he didn't ban it again, Tempest or Troupple would be a lot harder for him to play on, I feel. I'm trying to think what else would make sense. Possibly Tower. The Tower isn't too bad. But yeah, I would think Tempest and Troupple would be your best stages in the Sylv matchup, personally. I could be wrong. Because I know Needles can... I can see Needles being a huge annoyance on this stage. But again, it's not hard for Sylv to get grass set up on this stage. And once Sylv gets grass set up, things can be really... like, he can keep things in his favor without actually having to think very hard. That's not something you want Sylv to be able to do. I mean, it's not something you want any character to be able to do, but, you know. That feels like a misinput on that right there. Okay. That's a reasonable enough option, I guess. It's been such a long time since I've played Acarcion, so I wasn't really... I was kind of thinking more generally, but yeah. All of the pedal waves. I just generally like, right, I see the sort of trinity of stages that Sylv likes as being Capital, this, and Fortress. And so I always kind of raise an eyebrow when someone takes Sylv to one of those stages. Although with Rano, it's like, again, you have your Needles, so you can control ground space super well. So it's not a terrible option, and Acarcion getting a little too feisty with the Beast Ashes, but Core also getting a little too greedy on the downstrong charging. Letting him get away right there. So you have to work extra hard to make sure the stock gets taken, it looks like. Yep. Okay. I mean, I don't play Rano. I probably would have tried a super jump to chase him, and then if I missed, I would have charged Needles while falling instead of just immediately giving up and charging Needles. I'm not sure if there was anything else you would have gotten off of that bubble. Because I only really know what to do with bubble when it's no stack. But yeah. Ooh, okay. And kind of walling out with fair right now. Oh, Acarcion, that was a big miss on that Hal punish. I feel like he definitely could have gotten a strong attack or like an aerial off of that. And either killed Core outright or just put him in a really bad spot. Ah, right. Core actually has the second stock, not his last. I am very bad at reading stock count today, apparently. Good to know. I am illiterate. Woo! We're trying to approach with Needle and down to up strong. The classic. I'm going to be evening up this set 1-to-1. And interesting, what I was saying you should do is what Acarcion decides to do. So I know Acarcion likes the stage a lot more than I do. I'm personally not a big fan of the stage for Sov. I think it's way too suffocating. But I'm pretty sure Acarcion does actually like it. Man, my inclination is to say this is better for Rano, but maybe I'm wrong. Ooh, alright. Little too low percent for the up strong, but I respect the attempt. And yeah, getting really... He really wants to house right now. Oh no, because I don't know how much Acarcion... Actually, that's fine enough. Yeah, that's not fair to say. Alright, nice escape right there. But unfortunately not getting the punish. Yeah, I don't like this stage because I feel like it's really hard to set up flowers on the stage. Like, effectively. And I feel like the overhanging... I feel like overhanging plats do more for other characters than they do Soph. But, that's just me. This isn't an awful stage. I've warmed up to it. And I mean, I kind of noticed most characters in this stage. You have your occasional, like, 4s on, what is it? 4s on Abyss, right? Where it's like... or like, I guess Edelis on Chapel. Where it's like, pretty bad in every sense of the word. They're just personally, I don't know, I just don't like cramped stages on Soph. But I might start trying to figure out more about the stage. And especially Tempest. I want to learn how to play Tempest as Soph, instead of just always feeling uncomfy on it. I think Soph can abuse side plats on that stage dummy hard. Oh, nice. Not a bad little string right there. And I really like the way Acarcion's using Aerial B-Stash on the flowers. Trying to pressure with Bear. Definitely a good option for Soph. Kind of one of the weirder things about it. I mean, in general, Soph's a pretty weird character. Like, a lot of Rivals characters are weird, but the last 3 DLC especially really ramped up just how unorthodox things can be in this game. Kinda why I like all of them so much. But yeah. Alright, once again, going for the classic. And Acarcion getting really snazzy right there, going for Beast Boost stuff. I respect it. And nice Dacus. Pulling out the Code Cracker. And almost getting in again. Yeah, Core's definitely fishing for Upstrong right now. And trying to get the Rot Drop, but Core DIing away. I don't know if he did that. Like, I don't know if you were thinking about trying to catch him like that. And Acarcion getting really greedy right there. Just trying to burrow in neutral. Oh, man. Ooh, nice tongue. Yeah, both players really close right now in percents. Or not necessarily close in percents, but both of them are on their last stock. And at high enough percent that I feel like one interaction could really just close things out. Core closing the gap. This could be it. Or just barely hanging on right there. Upstrong on the main stage. Not really going to be killing too early on this. But if he can limit on the plat, that's a different story. Acarcion really fiddling around with B-Stash, trying to, I guess, mix Core up a little? I think what he's really trying to do is stay safe. And coming in with the Dacus, and that's just going to take it out right. Damn. Very close game 3 right there, but Core going to be squeezing it out just barely with the Dacuses. And here we go with what I'm saying, so comfort picks. This stage is really good for this character. But you can't really get away with pedal wave in neutral. So... And Acarcion trying to get all of the up tilts out right now. Core fishing for Dacus the Musical, the sequel, pretty much. It was really bold of them to change the protagonist, but I think it worked out. Hey, Core, I want to know, how much has Code told you to abuse Dacus? Because I'm inclined to say that I see you abuse it harder than a lot of the Inter-Ranos I've seen. He tried to discourage it. Code said the same thing, but then I couldn't tell if he was like joking or not afterwards. I don't know. It really do just kind of work. I started to remember sometimes that I can just like Dacus and people get hit by it whenever I mess around with Rano, and it's pretty funny, honestly. Oh, alright. Playing kind of safe right now. Alright, Core coming in. And now Acarcion got a pretty good juggle going. I really like the use of the seed to aid in juggling. That's one of my favorite things to do with Sylph. And nothing too big off of that. But Acarcion playing pretty safe right now. But, excuse me. Oh wow, he had enough grass for that? I'm surprised. I kind of saw the situation and I was like, alright, he got hit by tongue, that sucks. But no, he could bite. Ooh, missing the parry and rolling right into the up tilt. That's unfortunate. Once again, I wanted to point out, I really like Acarcion's use of flowers for recovery. I don't know if he had a double jump there, I wasn't really paying attention to that enough, I guess. I was wondering if he could have like beast boosted to the left platform from the right one, but yeah. Well, that's one thing that I really don't do enough, is like I don't really use flowers very effectively. I've been getting better at it recently, but it's one of the big strong suits of Acarcion's play, I feel like, is that he uses flowers pretty cleverly. I think it's pretty interesting he's actually not putting one on the main stage and instead choosing to just keep one on all of the platforms. Right, my usual placement is like I'll have one in the corner and then possibly one in the other corner and then like one or two on a platform. Depending on if I want to cover both corners or not. But yeah, Acarcion just going all in on these platform flowers. And yeah, lots of tongues right now. And once again, yeah, so like I said this earlier, Core, but I guess you weren't here. I don't really understand why you're using tongue as a parry punish. I guess like, oh, that was like a dunk. That was a really nice dunk. Core gonna be taking the set 3-1. But yeah, no, what I was saying though is I'm not entirely sure tongue is the best parry. It might be. It might be. I don't really know Rana parry punishes that well. It just feels risky because of how slow it is. Alright, Kotochu. I guess there probably is merit to it then. I'm just worried about the speed, right? Because like versus Esoteric, they had time to react and parry you back for it. So if you are gonna go for it, I guess it's kind of like Claren's side B, where right, that's also her best parry punish. But you need to make sure you have time to set it up, and if you don't have the time, you have to think of an alternative, like, you have to think of an alternative, right? Like, for Claren, I think grab would probably be the best one. For Rano, I would say down tilt? Probably down tilt? I mean, yeah, that's fair. I can attack the same, my reaction time is amazing either. But yeah. I do want to point that out, though, which is I think so far, most of the times you've gone for it hasn't really been, like, true. So just try to work on that. You know, either think of an alternative or get a lot faster with it. But with that aside, we're going to be going into our losers finals now, seeing our second CK team kill in a row. Quite unfortunate, but you know, that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So we got CK SlamDunksville versus CK Corpsvette. Yeah, I mean, I guess I can see over-relying on D-Strong also being kinda iffy. And again, if code's telling you to do it, it's probably not a bad option. I'm just kind of pointing out what I see as, you know, flaws. Doing the best I can in that regard anyway. Especially because, like, you are here in chat. Sometimes when people aren't in chat, I feel kind of weird trying to give advice. Or, like, if it's, you know, like the 7th week I've seen them on my stream. Sooner or later, I'm like, what do I exactly say? But, you know, I do what I can. Alright. Just coming in with the Dacus and down tilt up strong. Brad tries to get Core off stage in the game. That do be pretty much about what this matchup sounds like. Is just Rano trying to run at Crag and make Rock scary, and then Crag trying to punish Rano recovery. Oh, we got the fair. Let's go. I'm hoping to see some Crag combos this set. With what Slam's saying right now. Can we get the Crag combos? Oh, alright. Taking a stock with down strong. And fair. Alright, yeah, trying to trick him up with the pillar right there. There you are. That's probably, yeah, that's probably better than just fair. Intercepting the bubble recovery right there. Kind of tripping him up there. Runner recovery evades me. It feels really awful. Because, like, I know the mix-up on paper, and I can sort of do them in practice. But they all feel so easily to exploit. Right, like, everything with bubble is a recovery mix-up. It's just, like, they can just go hit the bubble. It's not hard. So that's something I definitely want to figure out as I'm trying to because, like, according to some CK data, like, Rano is apparently the most common character in CK, which doesn't actually make that much sense. But yeah, apparently I've had more people try to play Rano at one point or another than any other character except for Claren, more or less. So I've kind of been motivated to figure out some more Rano stuff so I can give good advice as and against the character. But right now my knowledge is still a little bit so-so. And Crag fair is unfair. Crag fair isn't a cool move though. Mr. Crag is in there. Dude, I mean, like, what do Crag, Fair, and Oriup have in common? They're not just not kill moves, you know? Alright, I think this is a pretty good stage pick from Core. Well, do I? Actually, wait, now I'm questioning this. It's weird because, again, I do think... Yeah, you know what? Yeah, never mind. Because, like, this is definitely a good stage for Rano. There are just certain characters that it's not going to work against. Because Rano can abuse platforms so much harder than Crag can. So even though most of the time not having platforms is good for dart camping, you don't really dart camp Crag as much as you would someone like, let's say, Shovel Knight, or, I don't know, other characters that aren't Crag, right? Yeah. Even at first, I was like, I mean, it's a good, I was like, C-Core, I get it, yeah, I totally get it. Like, what I'm assuming has happened is you were just told, like, here, like, Endless Abyss is a good Rano stage, you should go here a lot. It's just that Abyss is probably the single, like, Abyss and Tempest are probably the two weirdest stages in the game overall, and I guess Armada, right? All three of those stages are ones you have to have a lot of matchup-specific knowledge, in order to know when to go there, right? Like, there are a couple characters, like Sylvanos, I think can go here regardless of matchup, personally. But most other characters, you have to be careful about when you pick Abyss. And even though Rano's good on Abyss, right, because again, dart camping, you have to make sure you're playing against a character that you're going to abuse dart camping against, and that there isn't another reason not to go to Abyss. Yeah, no, it's totally understandable. I think it's just important that we, like, point it out. Yeah, I kind of realized, like, honestly, I was saying this earlier, too, like, I feel like I'm starting to think that, like, necessarily bad stages for characters are pretty few and far between, because the more I think about a lot of characters, right, like, Shovel Knight doesn't have a bad stage. He just has a couple mediocre ones, or, like, Kane doesn't have a bad stage, Absa doesn't really have a bad stage, in my opinion. Because even Ethereal Gates, right, and Blazing Hideout, which are supposed to be your worst stages, like, you can still... There are still some shortcuts to, like, teleporting around on those stages. And you can still be strong with Cloud at Ledge. Like, the platforms aren't perfect, but they're not awful by any means. There's just a few outliers like Edelis and Forsburn that have a couple really bad stages. And for the most part, it's just less good stages rather than necessarily bad ones. Actually, the only one I know of for Rana that's supposed to be bad is Treetop, right? Rana's supposed to be bad on Treetop, but I wouldn't know because no Rhino ever lets me take them there. Thinking. I would just feel bad if a Rhino let me go to Treetop. It's like when Solar Flare let me go to Trapple versus Edelis, and I was just like, dude, no. Dude, Blazing's kinda lame, yeah. Oh, that's an uncomfortable position for Core to be in. Yep. Getting caught a little too low right there. I'm going to be losing that first stock. Slam trying to shape up for a 3-0 right now, possibly, but Core not going to go down without a fight, coming in with the Dacus. Sick Sam impression. Oh no! Oh no! Dude, you just threw it at him and he died. That's so unfortunate. What is he supposed to do? He's just a boy. And you're just throwing rocks. This has just been like 10 minutes of watching a cracked out beetle stone a frog to death. And if that isn't the most beautiful thing, then I don't know what is. Tempting the bear upstrung right there, but Core having time to attack. Soon enough, I won't be able to tell you two apart. You two will both just be the Dacus boys. Not getting rid of the pillar fast enough, and Core managing to make it back mostly unscathed. But that was really good rock placement. Pretty much perfect spacing. And if that pillar wasn't there, Core would have almost just been dead. And yeah, Slam coming in with that 3-0. So, that means we're going to be seeing the run back of Slam versus Rambo. So Rambo is in winners, Slam is in losers. Okay, we can stop here. We are not stopping here. Did you just say Crag did it? I swear to God, if Rambo has a pocket Crag, did he bust out against you? I'm gonna scream. Am I missing something? That's definitely not all the games. I'm just saying, because you reported the challenge. You reported the score on challenge. And let's just say that it's not the same number of games as in this zip file. Oh, I see what happened here. I think I know. Alright, I think I already know what's happened. No, actually, that's a good point. I do not know what's happening. So let me just explain this much to you, so you have an idea of what we're working with here. Oh my God, it really is a Crag Ditto. I'd hate that. So the first game I have, just so you know, is on Corpsvette. Yeah, so the first game is on Corpsvette, and both of you are Crag. I don't know if that's where you guys actually started out. Oh, I'm not... Okay, I'm just illiterate apparently. That's good to know. So we can just jump right into this. Once I switch it to... Damn, okay. Hex mode. So we're having Crag Dittos in Grand Finals. That's pretty... Slam, shut up. Alright. I am really smart, guys, I swear. But alright, yeah. Crag Dittos in Grand Finals. This is exactly the type of high-quality content I came here for. So, so far, we're having a lot of rocks. Yeah, I mean, I believe it. Crag Dittos are definitely 60-40. Like, Crag should be winning neutral every time. It's just like Crag can kill Crag so early, you know? But like, you should be winning neutral every time, so it's kind of iffy. Ooh, nice up, strong. Crag Fair makes a lot of people's brains hurt. I mean, you're kind of just kicking people in the head and trying to end their whole career. God. It's always so funny watching people be like, wait, crack combos is a command and mentor bot, and then trying to be like with others, and then it's just crack combos. The only combos that matter in this entire game. The rock will not break the pillar yet. Pillar is such a whack move. Like, I still don't really fully understand the rules of how pillar works, if I'm being perfectly honest. I have the general gist down, but every once in a while, like, a crag will be able to pillar when I didn't think they could, or vice versa. And I'm just like, okay. It'd be like that sometimes. Crag honestly is such a cool character, though. Like, I genuinely think he's one of the most fun in the game to play. Oh, that's so unfortunate. You must use the rock to destroy the rock. SMH. I'm just gonna quote him on this one. I kept trying to do gigantic brain shit, but he keeps aggroing off his pillar and I couldn't go do my setups. I guess that kinda makes sense. It's like if you're not really expecting Rambo to go like aggro crag mode, but then he does, it's just like, oh well, what do I do now? I honestly did not expect it. I don't think I've ever seen Rambo play anything but Shovel Knight. I think I bust out the crag, going for equally as smooth brain characters. Alright, there's game 2. We're going to be going to the Crag Zone. Welcome to the Crag Zone. Oh god. Oh wow, we got Crag combos. And Slam trying to meet a pillar with his own pillar. You know, I get what you mean. Kind of Rambo just being like super coming on up. We have Slam versus Rambo Crag Dittos right now in Grand Finals. So that's fun. We just had double CK team kill with Corpsvette beating Acarcion and Slam beating Corpsvette, which was a little bit tragic, but that's just how it's going to be sometimes. When Slam just running up and upstronging, as one should. Is there truly any other way to play the game? Other than just strong attack and neutral? Oh yeah, you like it? I just haven't been here in a while, yeah. I have Aegis Toaster now. And JRPG music for the music pack. Well, okay. JRPG music plus some Undertale stuff. Because this game's technically not a JRPG, it just is designed like one. I'm actually really dumb, because, like, I just kind of put Undertale stuff in this pack without really thinking about whether it was Japanese or not. And then Nep was like, did you seriously just call Undertale a JRPG? And I was like, yeah, I did, huh. Yeah, raster and lag doesn't really sound fun. Core also kind of switched to Rano for the same reason, where he like, didn't want to learn Maple in online. And I was like, I'm just going to play Rano for a bit. At least I think that was the reason. I could be wrong. See, Undertale feels like a JRPG. It's just technically not one. Because, like, when I think JRPG, I think not necessarily if it's made in Japan or not, but, like, the style. Right? Because, like, a Western RPG is, like, Skyrim or Fallout. And Undertale is definitely not like that. Ooh, wow, he could have just been obliterated right there. But Slam will be taking that with a stock to spare. Fairly commanding game 2 all in all. But it kind of makes sense. Rockwall is definitely a good crack stage. So obviously, you know, Crag's gonna be winning on Rockwall in this matchup, like every time. Crag off stage, what are you gonna do? Just pillar sound effect. Yeah, I'll host him after. Promise. I've heard some, like, I feel like every Crag main hates the Crag Ditto, and then non-Crag players love the Ditto. Because they just think it's funny to throw rocks at each other and make big rock fortresses. But, like, every Crag I've heard says they hate the Ditto. Or not everyone, but most of them. Oh wow, we got all of the side Bs right now. So really looking for the super armor. And also I just realized, have I gotten, no wait, game 1 I think was the Pokemon song. The last 2 games were both Undertale songs. You know what's really unfortunate? That was unfortunate. That was extremely unfortunate. I did not mean for that to happen. What I was gonna say was, what I think is unfortunate is that I don't think I've ever gotten Megalovania on stream. Because that is in this music pack. It's on the arena. And most people just pick Rockwall instead of the ring. So I never get Megalovania. Alright, coming in with the rocks. Fair enough. I don't know. I heard some people say they really like Ring, but I feel like honestly like Rockwall is definitely better. I mean, like, I have really good songs on both, on Rockwall and Sierra Ring, so I'm not that mad. But, like, having Megalovania on stream is really funny, so I also can't discount that. And actually, I think I have Marnie's theme on that stage too, which is also, like, top tier. So you two are just doing the exact same things right now, and just hoping you do it better and faster. Which is completely understandable. I guess most videos kind of be like that. Ooh, I was actually surprised you didn't just go in the Nair upstrong right there. But either way, no, we don't need OBS right now. God, just stream me streaming OBS. There is no game. Look at my OBS. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, like, I would be really upset if I came into a Ditto and then lost game 1. It's a big part of the reason I think I lost to Zoom in Ras, where he came with the Shovel Knight for some reason, and I wasn't expecting a Ditto, and I just, like, was not... Wow, he just went for the fairs. He pressed forward and attack, and it was like, you're going to die here, and you just kind of did. Like, just a little bit. Alright, you gotta... What the hell is happening? Dude, this game is stupid. Well, Galaxy, but you don't even come close to dying. Thank you, game. Also, yeah, are we seriously 3 for 4 on Undertale songs right now? That's kinda whack. Because there are 3 songs in every stage, so the chances of that happening are relatively slim. And especially because, like, Undertale is one of the franchises that doesn't appear on every stage. It's like my third, not random, but like, sort of mix-up slot, where I have one of 3 games instead of one definitive game. And I'm not talking about my music pack. I'm apparently very vain about my taste in music. I guess it's kind of unfortunate, yeah. Trying to become like the person you're fighting in the Ditto. Because, like, just generally not fun vibes. And yeah, things are not looking too great for Slam this game. He's one game away from the reset, so you could definitely be seeing that happening right now. But I mean, if Rainbow can keep this momentum, things will be really difficult for Slam. At this point, we're kind of going to be thinking, like, where do you go for Game 5 right now? Couldn't you have jump canceled that? I'm kind of surprised you would just hold it. But yeah, it might just be like a nerfs thing. And a feeling like I don't really know what to do right now. And just sort of forgetting you have that option at your disposal. Alright, you know what? I'm going to be honest. For a game risking Grand Finals reset, there's a specific song I really want to get right now. I'm dead-ass fishing for the song I want right now. You know what? Well, this is fine. This is fine. I wanted I'll Face Myself. You know what? Actually, no. We need I Face Myself. It's too fitting. I can't believe I'm doing this. I hate this game so much. Give me I'll Face Myself. Come on. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's oh my god, I hate. That's like the 5th time in a row we've gotten They Who Govern Reason. Oh my god. We've gone this long. I'm gonna keep going until I get the fucking song. Oh my god. That's just like my 13th attempt at that. Oh my god, I can't even keep my voice right now. That's so... I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing this hard. But I find that really funny for some reason. And Rockwell, actually, I mean, the spirit... Yes, we're on Rockwell right now, guys. Really... I'm really happy with the Rockwell reskin they did. I think it looks really nice. Yeah, so like I'm kind of thinking the logic here is just I want to keep small blast zones and out Unga Rambo, but I don't know, let Slam speak for himself, I guess. Kind of just giving what my thought process would be, I guess, if I were going here. And unfortunately, I might be working against him a little bit. Those Repairs and Affairs are going to be killing super early on his end as well. If he can't keep the damage up, that could be really bad. Very lame indeed. Yeah, I mean, I guess those would all be pretty lame games for a Crag Ditto. Because you would just kind of be throwing rock from full stage, and that doesn't really sound very fun. I didn't really see Crag Dittos being a very, like, either really fun or really miserable matchup, with not a whole lot of in-between. Oh, Kang, you just missed it. I restarted this replay about, I didn't count, but probably about 13 times to get the song I wanted. And it kept giving me both of the other songs I have in my music pack. It was pretty epic. And right now, we are on Game 5 of a Crag Ditto, which is definitely not what I expected to see in Grands tonight, I've gotta say. I don't think I've ever seen a Ditto happen in Grands. If I ever have another Ditto on this stage with this music pack, I have to do this again, though. Because, like, there's literally no other song I can have for a Ditto except for I'll Face Myself. Like, in my entire music pack, nothing else fits. I mean, there are a couple others that are okay, but yeah, it doesn't get much better than this one. Yeah, no, I kind of get that. Like, I had a similar feeling, Again, I had a similar feeling versus Zome. Bit of an anticlimactic way to take that Grands, but Rambo coming in with the up air and sealing out his victory in Inter tonight. So, that is going to be all for tonight's stream, pretty much. But yeah, definitely good stuff for Slam for showing up. I know, because he seemed really demotivated in pools. Yeah, he seemed a little bit demotivated in pools, but he still pulled through, got second in Inter. Definitely not a bad showing at all. Yeah. Rambo's kind of been, like, as of late, he's been one of the most consistent players in Inter. He's gotten, like, top 3, it feels like, or at least top 6, like, every week for, like, the past 5 or 6 weeks, probably at least. Kind of what Jaharling was doing in some of the earlier C-keys. It's kind of now gone to Rambo for, like, the obligatory Inter top placement. Alright, the stream tool works now. Thank you. That's really fun. Yeah. I don't know. I guess we can try to be more pushy for Sap to, like, take into account a little bit more. Because, honestly, like, I'm going to be honest, there were, like, 3 people that told Sep, you should seed him higher. And then he just didn't. Which I'm not entirely sure about. Because we even told him he's gotten, like, 9th in... Was it 9th? I'm pretty sure he got 9th in RAS one time. And you're like, yeah, he's gotten 9th in RAS. That probably isn't a particularly great seed for him. But not much we can do. Sep is the one that controls the seeding, and it's kind of his job, so... 17th is his peak. That's still a really good peak. Alright, though. So, I'm going to be hosting Code now. So, hope you guys go over and check out the main stream and see who will be our 6th invitee to the Invitational. And yeah, have a good night, everyone. I am going to get some sleep because I am very tired. So, good night.